What's up, everybody? So today we have a very interesting episode because AJ's power went out. So I'm going to be doing it myself. And if you want to ask questions about anything in terms of how to get your emails to get more deliverability or how to get more leads, feel free to comment below on the group. And then again, I know AJ won't be on this one, but I'm happy to help. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Lucas. If you haven't tuned into some of these before, I'm one of the admins on this group. And I was able to grow my agency, Twiz. You can go look it up, twiz.io. We grew it to last year, we did $1.7 million in revenue, and we regularly book like 300 plus meetings per month for our team. And the way we're able to do this is by figuring out how to essentially get anyone to say yes to anything through lead magnets and then just other things that we do to get more yeses than nos. And once you kind of figure that out, then everything is easier to grow your agency. And I was able to take a management exit from my business in the last 12 months. I still own the same amount of equity, but I work like 30 minutes a week on the business, and I spend most of my other time building software, which is what I've always wanted to do. So anyways, that's enough of the exposition. Let's get into the hard stuff. So what I want to do today with you guys, if you don't have any specific like questions for me, I know there's somebody who submitted their emails for review in the software or in the form we have. We can review that. But I also want to walk you guys through sort of this worksheet that I've created. I actually recently released it on Twitter, and I got 500 retweets in 24 hours on this worksheet I was giving away and sent it to a lot of people. A lot of people liked it. And I want to go through it with you guys today so you can see what it means to have a good offer, what it means to have a good product, what it means to basically be able to get meetings on autopilot, right? So we're going to go through that today. And then we're also going to go through some different lead magnets in the software that I have and like what's working for people, what's not working for people. So let's go through all of that now, okay? So first and foremost, I'm going to go pull up the Twiz lead magnet. And, just go through each piece step by step, right? So let me share my screen and I'll show you guys how this is going to work. So let me know if you guys can see this. So basically here, this is the lead magnet and offer. What it is at the end of the day is it's a different way of thinking about getting leads, right? Because most people, for example, it's something like, hey, Johnny, would love to show you my service and see if we can hop on a call sometime. Okay, this is like the most generic way people ask for leads. It's usually something like this. It's like, can we hop on a call? Or they say like slash free audit slash consultation, something like that. People ask the same stuff, and then they're surprised why they're only getting 1 out of 100 people to say yes to their message. And usually it's because they're just not doing anything unique. If you lived in a vacuum, right, and there was no competition and you were the only person doing this thing and you're the only person offering free audits, then yeah, you probably would have a lot more people saying yes. But the problem is that if it's just a simple law of supply and demand, if a lot of people are offering a free audit and just to hop on a call and they're offering the same thing, then it's instantly ignored by every single person that sees it. And so you rarely get people to say yes or none at all, right? And then you're having to compete on your product by saying like, our product is so amazing, our product is so awesome. But at the end of the day, the audience doesn't care about that. They care about what you're going to do for them, right? So I'm going to remove this and then we can go into this step by step. So here's an example email that I typically use. So it'll be like, hey, John, I was referred to your business by a friend because they noticed that your email campaigns were suboptimal. You could say that. You could also say, instead of referred to your business, you could say, I heard about you guys online. I've been following for your guys for a while. I was referred to your business by a friend. You can use different variations, whatever feels the most natural and authentic to you. But the idea is you could say, I'm in the process of finalizing 3 new emails that I can use for your brand. I'm making these custom for you and it takes me a few hours. Should I send them to you or someone else? They're free, by the way, and 10 other niche brands have taken me up on it. You can say health and wellness, whatever your niche is. The reason you do something like this, and you don't even need this sentence necessarily, this could come out, but it sometimes works. The reason why it's good is because basically if you can show more specificity or exclusivity to somebody, they're going to be more likely to want to work with you, right? And so that's sort of how I look at it. And so the key thing at the end of the day, you see how like I'm giving the offer is of finalizing 3 new emails. They're getting it for free, right? So they'd be stupid not to say yes to this, you know? They're custom, takes some hours, there's time, right? So you can see what the key is a lot of times we send messages out to prospects thinking that, oh, we know this is valuable. This is a very valuable thing. My time is valuable. My consultations are valuable, right? But to the customers, they may not see it that way because there's a lot of people offering the same things. The supply is too much. There's too much supply in the market. So what you have to do is you have to base everything off of the customer's perception of whether or not they would buy something with time or money. If they wouldn't buy something with time or money, then it's not valuable to them. It might seem valuable to them, but it's not, right? Because it's what they ultimately want. The cool thing about direct response marketing is you'll know it's valuable to them because they will tell you immediately. If they're saying yes and yes and yes, then you know it's valuable, right? But you could see they're getting something valuable, 3 new emails, it takes you time, and it's custom, right? So these are very important. And then what you want to do is you want to go through your product and you have to determine how much money you can spend on a lead magnet. Now, the goal at first is to just do whatever it takes to get as many people to say yes as possible. That's the first goal, right? But once you've determined that and you've determined how to get pretty much everyone to say yes, the next step is, can you get the cost of that lead magnet to be as low as possible to you while also having the value be higher? So I'll give you an example. One thing I do is I invite bigger clients on my podcast. Why? Because my podcast has exponentially growing value. So when they come on the show, if they join now, they're going to get there. We have 3,000 monthly listeners. So they might get up to 3,000 people listening to the show potentially. And then the next benefit is that, if we can keep growing and keep scaling, then if they come back 3 months from now, that's going to be even more people listening to the show, right? And so it's an exponentially growing thing that actually costs me nothing to keep scaling. Like the cost to me on that podcast doesn't keep increasing, but the views keep increasing. So the value keeps increasing, right? And so you want to invest it in exponentially growing lead magnets, things that are continuously increasing in value. That's how I look at it. Another example of this could be, let's say it's a downloadable worksheet and a lot of people have downloaded it. Then you could just list how many people have downloaded it inside the worksheet so that the value of that worksheet keeps going up and up and up and up. That is something that's exponentially growing. You can say, hey, 500 agencies just took me up on this thing. Do you want it? Like that makes it valuable. If nobody is accessing it though, then it doesn't make it as valuable, right? But you have to understand your model, right? So, and there's something I always tell people, which is randomness in your model means randomness in your sales, right? So you need to pick a model. You can't, there's a lot of times I'll talk to agencies and they'll be like, oh, but there's so many variables. Like some clients can do this, some clients can do that. But I'm just here to tell you that you cannot operate like that. If you do, you're going to have a very difficult time scaling, right? You can account for those things when you're doing really complex financial modeling, but really at the end of the day, you need a simple model that'll help you scale. It needs to be an understandable model to pretty much anyone, yourself, your employees, your salespeople, everybody needs to understand the model. But essentially, once you figured out your monthly retainer, figure out how long people stay with you, so your lifetime value, you can take 10% of that LTV, and that's the cost you can spend to acquire one client. So you can spend up to $900 to acquire one client. And assuming that 20% of those people are closed, that is the average closing rate I've seen with most agencies. You could spend up to $180 per meeting. Now you might be thinking, oh, I don't want to spend all this money. This is so much money. I don't want to spend it. Well, the way to get around this is you earmark a budget the same way you budget for like Google ads or you budget for all the stuff. You say, hey, I'm going to set aside $2,000. And if I can't get, 2 clients to close with this $2,000 from this free lead magnet, then I'm just going to change things up. Right. But you have to treat it the same way as any other advertising expense. So as long as you earmark it and you say, I'm not going to go over this amount, then you're good. And then again, if you can deliver that much value, you're fine. The key is, and the reason why I prescribe a number to this, you have to think of it as this client is probably only going to be likely to close or to hop on a meeting with me if they're getting $180 worth of value, meaning that they perceive it as $180 worth of value, meaning they would actually take out their credit card and pay for this thing in theory, right? Like the podcast I'm doing for free for people, but like if I get enough exposure, they would pay for that thing, right? So like that is in theory valuable. So think about it in terms of that. Like a free consultation is not really that valuable to them. And because there's too much supply, they can get that from anywhere. It's a commodity, right? It's not a unique offer. So you need to figure out what actually would be good. And then again, if you have to spend $180 per meeting at the beginning, that's just what you need to do to get people to say yes, right? So, and then in terms of deliverables, right? You're looking at your costs, break down what you do for people, and determine how much it would cost to deliver something. And again, the key point with all this is that you might get lucky and have lead magnets like these, like what I have, like a free guide, free leads, partnership opportunity, podcast interview. These things work for me really well. Free video analyses work really well too. And that could be great. That might be the thing that works for you. But if those don't work for you in your market, then you need to do stuff. You need to do other things. And sometimes the best things to try are just literally doing things for people, like just like giving them pieces of your service to get them to say yes more often in order to scale them. So like I will do a blog article for you. I will make a video for you. I'll do stuff. And that will dramatically increase everything. And then on top of that, not only will it increase the value of your service, but it will also keep them around for longer. I'll give you an example. Recently, somebody said, "Hey, I'll make a video for you for TikTok because I think your TikTok videos can be approved." And I said, "Cool." And I got the video from them and it was really good. I chose not to work with them right now just because I'm a little tied up with some other things, but they're definitely on my short list going forward for who I want to work with. And I'm much more likely now to give that person referrals because they helped me out. They scratched my back. I'm there, or so I scratch their back, they're more likely to scratch my back, right? And so there's a lot of benefits to that as well. Now, the cool thing you could do is you could give them the free lead magnet, and even if they don't convert, you could add them to some sort of like newsletter or some other kind of free thing to just keep them around and nurture them forever. But the idea is you're really just trying to get a lot more people to say yes. And that's really the goal here. That's really the main thing you want to focus on. And there's some other stuff as well. If you go through this worksheet, sorry. But this is more around the offer, like your business's offer. And then I added a product matrix, which is like 9 questions on if your product really is the best thing in the market. And basically, if you go through this last section and it's not that good and you need to workshop some stuff, then go back to the beginning and do the lead magnet over. Because if you decide that, oh, my offer actually isn't that good, or oh, my product actually isn't that good, it's not great for the market, then you might have to change things up. Hey, what's up, man? AJ, you on here? I think
I'm here. I made it. Sorry, guys, that you can't see my face, but I wouldn't miss the cold email roast for a hurricane or a typhoon or anything. I lost power here, but I'm glad I could still tune in for a bit. I'm on my phone's mobile hotspot.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I just saw you hopped in. So let me I was just going through this lead magnet worksheet with people. I know I want to put the link to this so people can grab it here in the in the group. So in the bottom here in this post, they can grab it. It's just directly. I'm not asking anyone for their emails or anything. Just go grab the worksheet. You can copy it if you want. So
awesome.
Hopefully that's valuable.
Yeah, grab the lead magnet about guys.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely pretty helpful. Did you want to go over anything? Actually, I think there was one person who did ask or who did fill out the form this week. So
sweet, let's go. Yeah, let's go take a look. But no, I tuned in for most of what you're saying, and yeah, I definitely was not surprised to hop in and hear you. The first thing you're talking about was lead magnets, but it's great because we need to keep reinforcing this, and it's so valuable. I mean, like you said, if I like what you said about how if people are seeing the same thing, they just almost ignore it automatically, right?
Yeah.
And the free consultation, the free audit, just
the key. I mean, just seeing it honestly is like the same thing as any kind of product that you sell, right? Like it needs to be super unique. So I got one person, I think from the group named Zach, who filled one out. Awesome. And let me grab this. So let me see if they just complete. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, sharing my screen, and then we should be good. So this, which is, let's see if I can open it. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Got it. Got it. Actually, wait, did we review this person already?
We did, and we said it was definitely too long.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we did already review him. Shoot. Yeah, I thought that was a new person, but yeah, I actually don't have anyone for this week, but if we want, we can go into I don't know, like just share anything that's on your mind that you're learning this week, or anything new from you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think yeah, it's cool to leave some time in these rows to just chat a bit and see what's happening on either ends, or what we're noticing about the market. Because I think there's a lot of yeah, I mean, funny enough, I was just talking to you recommended me to connect with Corey Quinn, the guy who built that $150 million agency, which yeah, it's not a typo or anything. Actually, 150 million, which is crazy. But
crazy.
yeah, absolutely insane. I've never heard of an agency doing that much revenue. Because usually it seems a lot of people just build agencies to a certain point and try to use that cash for something more scalable. But was hearing a little bit about his journey, and it related a lot to what you were saying about how if you have a random business model and you say yes to everything, then you're just like, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot. Because his biggest thing was, as far as scaling an agency from 20 million to 150 million a year, was just like mastering one vertical and then mastering another vertical and then adding another vertical. But they had like absolutely just cornered a market before they would go after another one. So he said when he started working with this company, they already had 20 million, but they were doing a lot too many things. So he kind of helped them strip back and focus and dominate a vertical. And then that's what helped him take off, which, yeah, I think it's awesome. And I mean, I was having another conversation with someone today who was in that issue. He's been doing like 5K a month for a really long time, and just offering everything to everybody. And he just can't find a way out and can't make a decision on what to do next. So I think it's a real issue, but a really important thing to talk about,
It is. And I think, one thing that I'm realizing as far as lead magnets go, and as far as everything, one critical issue critical error that I had with my business that I wish I did earlier, and I see you doing it with this group, and obviously now I'm on this bandwagon, but is just having some sort of free thing, right? Not even just a free lead magnet, but like a free thing that keeps them around forever. Because, and I think a lot of times that's why newsletters have been so powerful. But I never had a newsletter when I scaled my with something that every single time someone didn't work with us, we still kept them around forever. I would definitely be way larger right now. And I think that reason why is just because I didn't capture people that would have otherwise left. And I had a lot of people who would come on our sales meetings. They would meet with us, they'd like us, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know if I can move forward right now." And then I was just like, they'd just be gone, That's like the biggest thing. So like adding free things that can just keep retention forever is really the goal, because even if they churn from a service, they are still part of the things. They technically like churned because they're still using something that gives them value,
Yeah, absolutely. Because one thing I realized is a lot of times if you don't close a deal, it's not your fault. It could be an external thing, and there's just that business just isn't ready for what you do, for something that could have nothing to do with you. So I think like a lot of times it's just timing, and I think sales is just playing off of timing and just continuing to show up in some way, shape, or form. I get so happy when we close a deal from someone we talked to 10 months ago, because I'm like, yes, it works.
I know. And it is crazy to me that like, think about, just as a thought experiment, I know in the agency space there's a lot of people, but just like think about how much more money businesses would make if they actually did have something that would keep people around forever. like I can think of a handful of businesses that after the initial sales call put me into something that would basically keep me associated with the brand forever. Like I know newsletters, but it's a supply and demand thing with that too, because everyone has a newsletter, so there's nothing unique about it anymore, right? Slack and communities and like even Facebook groups and stuff are more unique than emails, right? So because of that, you have like a benefit there too. So I think on the whole, if more businesses did that, they would just make way more sales. At the very least, they'd have a huge brand, because you could at the very least just like showcase to your prospects, oh yeah, we have all these people, like all these people are involved and they're doing this or that. Like it's so valuable, so that's what I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it's also just building the brand. It's not even just following up. But yeah, whatever that may be, I think it's a good point too about something like a Slack community or Facebook group being a little bit more creative than just an email newsletter, because now it's a lot of people do those,
Yeah, and it could be like getting them into your software. It could be like giving them every month you give them one new discount on like a piece of software that they use. It could be like really anything, but it's just something that keeps them around and that's unique and that gets them to remember your brand distinctly, right? I think that's the key,
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, in the agency space, right? Which a lot of people in this group are in, it's like, it's hard when there's so many other agencies doing what you do. So something to stand out, that's what it's all about. Dude, maybe for one of the next roasts, we can just have an open chat around some of these topics in depth, because I think a lot of this is really valuable to the group. If you guys like this format, type it in the chat, comment. But maybe we can do 1 week where it's just kind of going deeper on some of these things and sharing some ideas with you all.
Yeah, 100%, man. No, I know, and I think definitely what I'll do too is, guys, if you do have a submission you want, because we got a lot. I think this week was a little off was because I moved everything to this form, so maybe people were a little confused about it. But if you want to go and submit something through here, that will help you give you feedback and stuff. So just the form is in the comments below, and you could just fill that out. And then once it's filled out, we then also talk about a variety of other stuff as well.
For sure. Yeah, guys, check out that form below and give us your submissions. I got someone that wants to send this next week, so we'll have that. But anyways, I think it's a good spot to end it. I got to jump to a call.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys all have an awesome week. And hopefully next time you guys can see my face. Hopefully we have power.
Yeah, thank y'all for listening. I know a lot of people watch these on YouTube afterwards. So, and also, in the group. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment because we'll respond as well. So
yeah, 100%.
All right,
guys. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.